Right now, an arrest is made thanks to some eyes in the sky. A local police department gives us a first-hand look at how it works.
And a federal investigation into the state's troubled youth prison comes to a close. We'll tell you if any charges have been filed.
Plus, a presidential campaign rally in Madison. Senator Bernie Sanders takes on some Wisconsin weather with an outdoor event at James Madison Park.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us tonight. A Rock County man is in custody facing felony charges after Janesville police arrested him earlier this week.
Adam Dexter joins us with why it was the way police caught him that's making headlines.
Well, 10 years ago, this might look like something you'd only see in a movie. But the Janesville Police Department says using drones to make arrests is something that's becoming more and more common.
2-8, Sarge, you good with me going to the air?
This was the view from high above South Ringgold Street earlier this week. The sun had already set, and Janesville Police Deputy Chief Terry Sheridan knew this could become a dangerous situation for his officers. Now, this all started when police came here looking for this man, Ryan Weaver, who they say was wanted for retail theft. What police didn't know, however, was that Weaver was also in violation of his parole. And when they got there, he slipped out the back.
You're coming up around many blind corners, obstacles. You never know where somebody might be hiding or they might be able to jump out.
So they made the choice to bring in the department's drone.
So the drone can cover a lot more ground much quicker than officers could on foot, particularly at night. You see different heat signatures, and they appear in red initially on the video. As the drone operator flies around, you can see anything that's giving off heat, like a body.
Those heat signatures leading police to Weaver in no time. The drone's camera capturing the moments police find him behind a house and quickly arrest him. Sheridan says this isn't just more efficient, it's safer for the people on the ground.
From a safety aspect, being able to direct officers in, tell them exactly where to go, be careful when they come around certain corners, stuff like that, it just increases officer safety, 100%.
He says more departments like Janesville are starting to buy drones in hopes it can help with situations just like this one this week. In the meantime, Deputy Chief Sheridan has a message for anyone thinking they can use the dark of night to escape from his officers.
You can't hide from the heat that's coming off your body, regardless of where you're at. So, we have this tool available, and we'll use it, the best we can.
And Deputy Chief Sheridan says the drone has been a part of their tool since 2017. And in the future, he hopes it can do more than just help make arrests. In fact, he says he hopes that they can use it to maybe find a missing person or locate someone having a medical emergency.
Adam Dexter reporting tonight. Weaver is currently being held at the Rock County Jail.
His parole violation was for delivery of narcotics. Two 15-year-old boys have been arrested for an alleged sexual assault that happened in Madison East High School this week. That second boy was arrested by a school resource officer this morning. The sexual assault allegedly happened on Wednesday after school about 4 p.m. in a bathroom on campus. The 15-year-old girl told the resource officer on Thursday, and that's when the first suspect was arrested. Both boys are facing charges for second-degree assault of a child. The Madison Police Department said the case is too sensitive for them to talk about it just yet since it remains under investigation.
The father of a 17-year-old who was missing since November made his initial appearance in court today. Nick Batchelder was charged with interference with child custody and resisting or obstructing an officer. Kirsten Duarte was found safe last night after going missing on November 1st. He was taking care of her despite Kirsten's mother having full custody of her. He is due back in court next month. A federal investigation into alleged civil rights violations at Wisconsin's youth prison has ended without charges. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Madison announced today that the investigation found insufficient evidence that staff members at Lincoln Hills School had used unreasonable force against inmates. Last year, the state legislature approved a bill to shut down the troubled prison by 2021 and replacing it with smaller state and county-run facilities.
A terrifying incident at the Mall of America has left a 5-year-old child in the hospital with critical injuries. Authorities say a man either pushed or threw the child from a third-floor balcony. Police arrested 24-year-old Emmanuel Deshaun Aranda on suspicion of attempted homicide. He was seen running off immediately after the incident and was later found in the mall and taken into custody. Court records show He'd been charged with 2 previous disturbances at the mall, including throwing things off of the upper level.
At this time, we do not believe there is a relationship between the suspect and the child or the family of the child.
Authorities are calling the incident isolated and say there is no threat to the public. Mall of America released a statement calling it a senseless act and offering counseling services to anyone affected.
Hopefully you heard the statewide tornado drill today. The sirens went off at 1:45 this afternoon. And they continued for about 15 minutes. This is the state's chance to test and potentially fix any issues with the warning system as we enter the severe weather season. A second test was conducted at 6:45 tonight, but Dane County did not participate. The drill was initially going to be held yesterday, but was delayed because of the potential for severe weather.
As for the forecast tonight, well, the cold is going to stick around. Tomorrow looking a little nicer, I guess. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield joining us with our first alert forecast. Dave?
Yeah, at least a little bit of sunshine on the way for tomorrow, Eric, and we can get rid of the blustery conditions. We still should have a little bit of a breeze tomorrow, but definitely better compared to what we experienced today. The second straight day with wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour. At least we didn't have to deal with any real precipitation today. A live look in Madison at cloudy skies on the WISC-TV Skycam. Temperature down to 36 degrees. That wind still out of the southwest, kicking at 15 miles per hour, so it makes it feel like 27 degrees outside. Some other temperatures right now, 37 in Lone Rock, 38 in Boscobel, and 36 in Platteville and Monroe. Wind speeds out of the south and west, they're getting better, but slowly but surely, still at about 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting closer to 30 to 35 miles per hour, still at this hour across southern Wisconsin. Starting off near 30 degrees with partly sunny skies, we should see at least some peaks of sunshine by tomorrow afternoon. Highs should make it into the mid to upper 40s. We'll talk about some chillier weather on the way Sunday, plus a chance for some snow showers and what to expect as we head into next week in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Dave, thank you. Democrats are hoping to build a blue wall across key Midwestern states in 2020, including Wisconsin.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders stopped by James Madison Park today. Rose Schmidt was there and shares his message.
Senator Bernie Sanders thanked Wisconsin voters for their support back in 2016 when he carried Wisconsin in the Democratic presidential primary, beating out Hillary Clinton. He says his campaign is not just about winning the primary or beating President Trump, but about transforming the country. The crowd braved the cold weather at James Madison Park. It was filled with a number of college-age students who cheered loudly as Bernie Sanders talked about student debt and how he would like to substantially reduce it in the country. He says his Medicare for All plan won't be an easy fight, but he believes it's worth it to give health care to everyone. And he spoke about a need to bring change to the country in 2020.
That the underlying principles of our government will not be greed, will not be kleptocracy, will not be hatred, will not be lies. The underlying principles of our government will not be racism, will not be sexism, will not be homophobia, will not be xenophobia, will not be religious bigotry.
The latest numbers out this week from the Marquette Law School poll show Sanders is the top choice among Democratic candidates in the Badger State, with Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren right behind Sanders. And people tell me here that they're not surprised. Sanders will head to Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, and Pennsylvania this weekend. For News 3 Now, I'm Rose Schmidt.
Senator Sanders is now the third candidate to visit Madison this year. Beto O'Rourke and Amy Klobuchar have already paid a visit. Police say there were no issues during the event.
Foxconn announced today it will soon have a home in downtown Madison, planning to buy the BMO Harris Bank building on West Main Street along the Capitol Square. The company still hasn't officially closed the deal, but both companies involved here, the bank and Foxconn, are confident a deal can be made soon. Foxconn's plans, though, have raised some questions from a lot of people who are eyeing the progress. Some saying the buildings the company has already purchased in other parts of the state are empty and have been that way for a while, raising the question, when are things going to materialize?
I appreciate you worrying about these empty buildings. I can assure you they are not empty, but we also don't want people to climb up on trees and look over to make sure that we have occupancy. We don't actually make an effort to acquire buildings to leave them empty. We do have a plan. We actually would make sure that the buildings are adequate and well equipped before we move people in.
Dr. Young also said a lot more details will be coming in the next couple of months to a year or so. Still ahead tonight, President Trump says he is considering releasing migrants into sanctuary cities.
Plus, the White House is put on lockdown today, the unusual incident that prompted it when we come back.
Secret Service officers rushed to secure the White House this afternoon when a man set his clothes on fire just outside the gate. Shortly after 3, cameras caught Secret Service officers carrying the man away. They say the man had been in what they describe as a wheelchair-type scooter before lighting his jacket on fire. The executive residence was put on lockdown with the president inside. The man did not suffer life-threatening injuries, but so far his motive is unclear.
The Pentagon's controversial policy banning transgender recruits from joining the military went into effect today. The Defense Department says the new policy does not affect transgender troops currently serving in the armed forces, a contention that's strongly denied by advocates. The ban blocks individuals from joining who have been diagnosed with a condition known as gender dysphoria. Transgender individuals can serve, but only if they meet the standards of the sex they were assigned at birth. President Trump says he's in favor of a plan to send migrants detained at the border to sanctuary cities like San Francisco and Seattle.
It is an idea that has reportedly been rejected twice by Homeland Security officials. CBS's Natalie Brand has more on what it could mean.
President Trump stepped into another firestorm over immigration, saying his administration is strongly considering sending migrants detained at the border into so-called sanctuary cities.
California certainly is always saying, oh, we want more people, and they want more people in their sanctuary cities. Well, we'll give them more people. We can give them a lot. We can give them an unlimited supply.
It's not the first time the president has threatened sanctuary cities, which include Los Angeles and San Francisco. California Governor Gavin Newsom called the president's plan political theater.
It's illegal. It's immoral. It's rather pathetic.
The Washington Post was first to report on the controversial proposal. The Post says, according to a top official at ICE, the plan raised budgetary and liability concerns. ICE's legal department rejected the idea as inappropriate. Friday morning, the White House pushed back on the story, saying the idea had been floated, then rejected, and was no longer under consideration. But President Trump's comments brought new attention to the potential plan, which would bring migrants into traditionally Democratic cities.
The idea that this administration could use human beings, families, children, to exact political vengeance on enemies is outrageous.
In a new statement, White House spokesman Hogan Gidley said Democrats should be working with the administration to find the best ways to transport those illegal aliens that are already set for release into communities in their districts and states. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called the proposal disrespectful and a notion unworthy of the presidency. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And the Department of Homeland Security, which now has a new acting secretary, has not commented tonight on the president's new discussion of this proposal.
An area school is doing something good, bringing in a message from a successful artist with ties to Wisconsin. Kindness is already a focus at Fort Atkinson's Luther Elementary School, where they say a new kindness team has really made a difference. As part of that initiative, Chesney Snow, a beatboxer, Broadway actor, and teaching artist, came in to share how students can use their voices to spread kindness and love and how far that can take them in life.
What I try to do is to use the arts through storytelling, through beatboxing, in order to kind of empower them, to make them know that they can be geniuses at something.
If you didn't know what beatboxing was and you just came in here and saw him doing that, you'd probably be like, whoa.
All grade levels got a chance to hear from Snow, who went to school in Platteville and will soon return to his now home of New York to prepare for a play.
After much anticipation over the past few days, the Milwaukee River was turned green this morning. This dyeing process was a collaboration between the Milwaukee Department of Works, the State DNR, and the Plumbers Union to honor the Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks' first playoff game scheduled for Sunday, 6 p.m. at Fiserv Forum against the Detroit Pistons. And a warning ahead of that game, the Better Business Bureau says scammers often target these playoff games. Some signs to look out for include low prices on great seats, third-party sellers with no guarantees, and also phony websites that are similar to legitimate ones. The release said avoid places like Craigslist and always make sure websites are secure.
The annual Midwest Horse Fair is going on right now, kicking off its 2019 season today. The Sheriff's Department says if you're going to be traveling near the Aligned Energy Center this weekend, expect delays. The annual event draws around 60,000 people every year, making it the largest three-day horse fair in the country.
Meteorologist Dave Caulfield joining us now as we turn to the weekend, and not a whole lot better. You said we might see a little bit of sun at least tomorrow?
Yeah, and temperatures should get into the mid to upper 40s, which is an improvement, still about 10 to 15 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. But as we head into Sunday, some of us could be seeing some additional snow showers, and so we're kind of searching for spring a little bit. And we have still been dealing with this low pressure system that continues to bring the blustery conditions into southern Wisconsin. Second straight day with wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour. At least we didn't really see much in the way of precipitation today. That snow staying closer to the center of that low pressure system, which continues to move through northwestern Wisconsin right now. Across southern Wisconsin, a few flurries this evening. Nothing too major, though. I do think that we will stay dry as we head into Saturday. That could change slightly, especially for southeastern Wisconsin on Sunday. So with all the severe weather talks that we've been going through this week, with it being Severe Weather Awareness Week across Wisconsin, what better way to kind of cap off the week than heading to Madison College tomorrow for the 2019 edition of Dark Skies. You can see all of us here at the station as far as the weather team goes tomorrow. It's from 8:30 to 4, completely free at Madison College. And keep in mind, we have a great guest speaker, or headlining speaker. The director of the National Weather Service, Dr. Uccellini, will be there as well. We also have severe weather safety talks, and we'll be programming weather radios as well. Not rodeos, that's at the Midwest Horse Fair. Almanac for today, 43 degrees for our high. So Our normal is 56. We're running about 15 degrees below where we should be. I think those below normal temperatures are going to continue this weekend. So some other high temperatures. We did hit 50 in Janesville. It really didn't feel like this at all today with that blustery wind. It really felt like the 20s for much of today. Right now, we're in the mid-30s in Madison, upper 30s in Janesville, and at 34 in Waukesha. Wind speeds still kicking. They're a little bit better, but still out of the south and west at about 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting closer to 30 miles per hour in Madison. That breeze does improve as we get into tomorrow. Temperatures, though, not really improving all that much in the mid to upper 40s with some sunshine at least tomorrow, but then some snow showers possible and temperatures struggling to get to 40 degrees on Sunday. We should be back into the 50s and 60s by Monday and Tuesday. Tonight we'll dip to near 30 degrees, becoming partly cloudy and still breezy outside. The breeze does get better tomorrow. It will be cooler than normal, partly sunny with temperatures in the mid to upper 40s for highs. No real precipitation to talk about tomorrow. Some peaks of sunshine, especially in the afternoon hours. Highs getting close to 50, closer to Janesville. Others are stuck in the mid to upper 40s, which isn't bad, but it should be a little bit warmer for this time of year. And then on Sunday, there is a chance, especially across southeastern Wisconsin, that we see some rain and snow showers. Our weather models keep trying to take this system out of the area, which would be nice if it missed us entirely, but there is still that chance of a few snow showers making their way back closer to Madison. So we'll be ready for that. If any accumulation does occur, one, most likely it will be closer to Milwaukee, and two, once again, with the warm ground temperatures, it will be most likely on grassy surfaces. And then some April rain showers looking likely as we head into the middle of next week with temperatures back into the 50s.
All right, at least we're getting there again.
We have some good things.
Hopefully we can stay there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Dave. A couple of Badgers win some impressive awards today. We'll have that story just ahead. Stick around for sports.
couple of Badgers win big awards today. Jake Buns, the Badger hockey player from Middleton, gets the Hockey Humanitarian Award at the Frozen Four in Buffalo. Buns has done a lot of work with an orphanage hit by earthquakes in Haiti in 2010. And in Los Angeles tonight, Ethan Happ gets the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award as the nation's top center this season. The Abdul-Jabbar Award has been around only 5 years. Happ is the second Badger to win it. Frank Kaminsky won the first award in 2015. You can watch the Badger football practice at Camp Randall tomorrow for free. It's part of a big day around the stadium. From 9 to noon, there's a Badger Kids Fair at the McLean Center. From 10:30 to 11:30 at the Field House, Director of Athletics Barry Alvarez will have a town hall type question and answer session that you can attend. And at 11:30, no spring game, but a practice that's open to the public. It'll go about 2 hours. Then Paul Chryst, Jonathan Taylor, and Chris Orr will address the fans after. Brewers have started a weekend series in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. Former Dodger Yasmani Grandal is now a Brewer in his first at-bat back. Grandal lines it off the pitcher and into right center for a run. Now in the third inning, Brewers 2, Dodgers 1. Seems the Cubs are starting to put it together a little bit. At Wrigley against the Angels, they hit 4 homers. Wilson Contreras hit 2 of them. Cole Hamels pitched well to get the win. Final score there, Cubs 5, Angels 1. Second round of the Masters, Zach Johnson's taking a practice swing in the 13th tee. Oops, he didn't mean to hit the ball with his practice swing, but don't worry, the rules say no penalty if it was accidental, and it was. So Johnson re-teed and eventually made birdie on that 13th hole. Through 2 rounds, it's a star-studded leaderboard. The 5 that are tied for the top are all major champions, including former Masters winner Adam Scott. And Tiger Woods, who's won 4 Masters, is just 1 shot back. Final 2 rounds on News 3 Now, live this weekend. Pro Football and Packers Hall of Famer Forrest Gregg died today at age 85. Gregg was one of the greatest offensive linemen ever. In fact, Vince Lombardi once called him the best player he ever coached. Gregg also was an NFL head coach with Cincinnati, Cleveland, and the Packers. The Bucs begin the NBA playoffs Sunday in Milwaukee with Game 1 against the Detroit Pistons at 6. Game 2 is next Wednesday in Milwaukee. Bucs haven't won a playoff series since 2001, but this year seems to be a different year. They won more games than anyone in the NBA, and it seems like they all get along really well. Their head coach says they do.
You know, hopefully maybe as an advantage for our group. I think the way they genuinely care about each other, the way they genuinely get along, I certainly believe it. I think lots of people believe that, you know, what happens off the court carries to on the court and vice versa.
Marquette's Marcus Howard won't go to the NBA draft this year. Howard posted on Twitter this morning he's looking forward to being with the Golden Eagles next season. Marquette's going to probably be a preseason top 10 team next year with Howard and the Hausers coming back. Iowa's Tyler Cook does enter the NBA draft. And the Badger softball team has a weekend series at Northwestern. Doesn't start out very well. Haley Hestekin's bases-loaded error brings in 2 Wildcats. Final score, Northwestern 4, Wisconsin 1. That stops the Badgers' winning streak at 8. And we'll be right back.
Dave's here with a final check.
That wind is still gusty. It does not know when to quit, but I do think it will get a little bit better tomorrow. Still, though, tonight some gusts of 25 to 30 miles per hour are possible, and then we should see some peaks of sunshine tomorrow with temperatures in the upper 40s. A few snow showers out of the question on Sunday with highs in the upper 30s, and we're back into the 50s and 60s Monday and Tuesday for some rain showers greet us for the middle of next week.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good and have a great weekend.